I'm in town with a 50 round, hunt them down. Definitely rest in peace to Juice World. Today we got a story, the Juice World and Ali Lotti story. I'm glad Like He Speaks made a video about this because I've been seeing certain videos of his girlfriend saying like what happened to him wasn't the truth and a lot of other things. I just really want to know what's the truth. He was definitely a dope artist. I felt like he had a lot of good music. He was very creative. He definitely could freestyle. Um, you know, I just really want to know what's the true story. She said she was scared to really speak out about it. I don't know if in this video he got clips of her speaking out about it, but we'll have to find out. So without further ado, we're gonna get straight into this video.
Now, I want to talk about this recent story involving the late Juice Wrld, Ali Lotti, not sure how you say it, and another person. First of all, for anyone who's not familiar with Ali Lotti, she was the girlfriend of the late Jared Higgins, professionally known as Juice Wrld. She's 29 years old and is out of Jersey. Ali and Jared started dating sometime in 2018 after Ali slid into his DMs. Ali started that conversation by saying, "Good music. Keep it up, kid." A few months later, while Juice Wrld was on tour, he took the initiative, hit her up, and they ended up meeting for the first time in Rhode Island. Ali and Jared spent the next 4 days together, and it was the start of a love story, if you will. Now, that's how Ali and Jared met. As for how their relationship progressed, couldn't tell you too much about that since I generally speaking don't pay too much attention to these artists' personal relationships. One thing I do know, however, is that Juice Wrld was clearly in love with Ali. He professes love for her publicly on numerous occasions, all the way from start to, the unfortunate end, which was his passing. As for this recent story right here, this is a highly requested video. Gotten a lot of messages about this, so that's why I'm talking about this. The other day, a little situation went down. Actually starts with Ali herself. Apparently, and I didn't know this by the way, but apparently Ali has a new boyfriend. His name is Carter something. He's a young entrepreneur who runs, I believe it was a social media agency. But her boyfriend did something the other day that pissed off a lot of Juice WRLD fans. I came across this on
Wait,
Twitter.
dissed him?
But what happened is this. Ali's new boyfriend, who's allegedly 18 years old, posted an Instagram story sometime back where he was wearing a watch that Jared gifted Ali when he was alive. Now, he was kind of flexing the watch on this Instagram story. If you're looking at the screen, as you can see, there's the watch. He did this while the song Burn, which is a record by Juice WRLD, was playing in the background. So essentially, he was wearing this watch that Juice gave Ali as a gift on his Instagram story while playing a Juice WRLD record. So a lot of the backlash from this situation is obviously going towards the boyfriend, but most of it is actually directed at Ali. Juice WRLD fans are pissed off, to put it mildly. The fans obviously find this disrespectful, which I do to some extent. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
Ali hasn't really been the
extent.
fan base's favorite person since they started dating anyway, so on top of this, she's definitely seeing the wrath of Juice fans. Not in my personal take of this entire situation, I want to start off by saying this. We're approaching the 3rd anniversary of Juice WRLD's passing. I hope people realize that this conversation that we're having right now, it's completely irrelevant. This is why I say that. First of all, this little story right here does not negatively reflect on Juice WRLD's legacy, and I think that's important to bring up for this reason. One reason why fans are so protective of an artist, who they love, who's deceased, is because that artist can't speak up or act on the behalf of themselves because they're gone, right? A good example is all the music XXXTentacion's estate has been releasing, which has in fact negatively contributed to X's legacy. A lot of us didn't like what they did with X's music because they were dropping all this half-ass music, which didn't.
I think honestly, with X's contract is might sound fucked up, but I don't think the label cares if you're dead or not. They still want you to fulfill that contract in some type of way. Like in some type of way, they still want you to fulfill that contract. Like, so if your parents is around and they got control of your estate, whatever, and they still got some unreleased music of yours, like basically they're gonna try to get that because like they still wanna, you know, make sure they get the most off the investment, you know.
Really sound like X. Obviously, a lot of it was a money grab. I think that's undeniable. As for Juice WRLD, this is a completely different conversation we're having. We're talking about a story where his former girlfriend's boyfriend, right, he wore the watch Juice gifted her while playing Juice WRLD's song on his story. Personally, I do think that is distasteful, and I'm curious as to why he would feel like it is an appropriate thing to do, given the fact that Juice isn't here today, right? And he was the one who gave the watch to Ali. And in the fashion that he did it, it kind of looked like he was flexing it, which that's never a good look. You don't ever want to do something that could get misconstrued as you disrespecting a legend, because Juice was a legend to this young generation. But one thing that does pop up in my mind is, you know, the guy could actually be a fan, believe it or not. I mean, he's apparently 18 years old. When Juice died, he had to be 15 going on 16. So maybe that Instagram story he posted was a flex of some sort that actually maybe came from a good place. I don't know. Just because he's dating Ali Lotti, that doesn't automatically put a malicious intent stamp on what he posted. This is me speculating. I don't know if that's why he did it. Like I said though, I do think it is distasteful, given the fact that when you post something like this, considering the fact that Juice WRLD is gone and considering how it looks from the outside, you know, you post this IG story and you're dating his former girl, that could be taken as disrespect, and I see why the fans are upset 1000%. Personally, however, I'm not gonna be too upset at this because I just feel like there's more important things to pay attention to as it relates to Juice WRLD. I mean, just the other day, guys.
I mean, honestly, with this, it's kind of like, I don't care if somebody's dead. If somebody starts dating that person, they gonna feel away. It's kind of like the Will Smith and Tupac situation. The dude is definitely gonna feel some type of way. Definitely, not a doubt.
We had a very important conversation about why Juice WRLD was misunderstood. And those are the kinds of conversations we should entertain. And if you haven't seen that short clip, by the way, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But I think that's the kind of conversations we should be having, because Juice WRLD's former girl's boyfriend posted an Instagram story where he was wearing a watch Juice gave her. That's not something I feel like we should entertain. It has nothing to do with his legacy. It also doesn't affect it negatively. One genuine question I have for all the Juice WRLD fans out there, maybe someone could answer this, right? Why are Juice WRLD fans always paying so much attention to what Ali Lotti's doing? I mean, why? I mean, why are you paying attention to what
I think it's for the simple fact that I don't. I mean, I don't. I personally don't pay attention to it. I fuck with Juice WRLD. I think honestly, it's for the simple fact that she says she got answers to what really happened. So, you know, people is like kind of keeping tabs on her to see if she's ever gonna reveal it, if she's ever gonna, you know, give little hints or clues or whatever. That's probably what some people doing. That's how I'm thinking about it. You know, I'm a logical thinker, so that's how I'm thinking about it in that way.
she's doing anyway. I mean, she was such a small part of what Juice WRLD was about, and sometimes I wonder why fans get so invested in these artists' personal relationships. Again, Ali Lotti was such a small part of what Juice was about, so why are, you know, the fans acting like the stuff that revolves around her directly affects Juice's legacy? Because it doesn't. At the end of the day, she was just a girl that, you know, he was dating, and who's to say that they would have been dating today? Ain't no telling. If Juice was alive today, I mean, he would have been on a completely different level. Who's to say that his relationship, as young as Juice was, would have lasted throughout all the crazy elevation that Juice would have seen, right? So when I think about Juice WRLD, I don't really think about his girlfriend. I think about the artist Juice WRLD. So with that being the case, why is the fan base always paying attention to what she's doing? I get that people have a lot of things to say about her, which I won't really entertain those conversations today or ever actually, because I don't feel like it's relevant to Juice WRLD's legacy. Juice WRLD died almost 3 years ago. We're literally approaching the 3rd anniversary of the late great Juice WRLD's passing, and here we are talking about this. Juice fans, y'all gotta do better. Really, how come the Juice fan base isn't talking about all the great work Carmela Wallace has been doing? Carmela Wallace, for anyone who doesn't know, that's Jared's mother. I really admire all the great work she's been doing. What a great woman. I mean, she lost her son in an extremely tragic fashion, and she decided to take that pain and turn that shit into something very positive. Carmela, after the death of her son Jared, started a foundation called the Live Free 999 Foundation. It's essentially a mental health foundation that supports programs that provide resources that address challenges surrounding mental health. Carmela launched this foundation in order to, first and foremost, honor her son, and second of all, make the world a better place by providing resources for people who are struggling with mental health. It's always been really sad how fans constantly entertain the negative conversations but never pay attention to the stuff that actually matters. And Juice WRLD fans, I'm gonna call y'all out for a second. You guys don't talk enough about Carmela Wallace, who's actually the biggest part of the artist that y'all love so much, the person behind Juice WRLD, Jared Higgins. This is the person who you guys should be paying attention to, not Ali, and no disrespect to Ali. I'm sure she would even agree with me because, you know, she's probably tired of Juice WRLD fans being on her case 24/7. Or maybe not, because attention, positive or negative, is
Yeah.
at the end of the day currency. So how about we talk about and focus on Carmella and all the great things she's doing with her foundation? I mean, she's literally out here changing lives, and I think that's honorable considering the fact that shit, she could have let the death of her beloved son crush her, but she didn't. She took that pain and, had the strength to make it into something positive by focusing on honoring her late son, and in the process is helping thousands of people in the world with her foundation.
Well, tell me about that because a lot of people who were big fans of his used him as an inspiration for them who were also having mental health struggles. So tell me about his mental health struggles.
Well, Jared fought with anxiety and depression, and he was able to communicate and was in touch with his feelings because throughout high school he had counseling, so he knew how to express himself. He knew how to communicate,
He
what
did it through
his
music.
issues were, and then in turn he took those things and he shared it with other people, and they could relate to what he was going through. So he made himself transparent, and in him doing so, he helped other people.
Well, I don't want you to sell yourself short because you say he was able to express those feelings because of the counseling, but obviously you as his mother had a lot to do with that as well. And
So shout out to Carmella Wallace. I'm really inspired by the great work she does
Definitely shout
and
out to
is
his mom, Camilla
continuing to
Wallace.
do. So Juice WRLD fans, attention. When December 8 comes around, I don't want to see y'all entertain these conversations. Focus on what actually matters. I mean, Juice and Allie, that's a thing of the past. Juice is gone, Allie's living her life, so how about we leave that shit in the past? Sounds good? Okay, let's do that. Anyway,
He
like
talking
this
like
video if you
that.
enjoyed it. Any thoughts on this Juice WRLD, I guess, controversy?
Why
Again,
you
this has
talking like
nothing to
that?
do with his legacy. And you know what? Actually, give me your take on the great work Carmella Wallace is doing first and foremost. And then give me your take on this story right here. Anyway, you have a good day, night, meal.
Yo, shout out to Blackie Speaks. You could definitely tell he felt some type of way. I might try to see if I could find a way to contribute to the foundation, donate something. Mental health is definitely something very very important that people don't really speak too much about. Um, Anybody going through it, just keep pushing. It'll definitely get better. So you've heard that before, but trust me, taking your life is not the answer. It's definitely not the answer. You gotta go through the darkness to get to the light for real, for real. And they get greater later. With that being said, rest in peace to Juice World. Shout out to his mom Camilla. Love is love. Appreciate all the support. Y'all been running up the views like crazy on a lot of my videos. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe now. Turn on all post notifications. Next month, I will be doing a PlayStation Network card giveaway. It's no secret to get it. It'll be just by watching the video. I'll put it in like random parts of the video. Um, just as a thanks for y'all supporting so much. We've only been uploading, let's say, for almost a month now, and y'all been really just running up almost every video, averaging almost a cool 100 views there. I just appreciate your support, and I love y'all from the bottom of my heart.